Mini question. First one is time value money. What is time value money? One. What is time value money? So the answer is that the value of money, it will change according to time and rate of return, interest rate, anything is okay for you. Some people will say like that. Some of you just copy from the book and say that like $100 today is worth more than $100 in the future. Okay? This is true for 99.99%. Okay? Some of you did very good in showing. Some of you did very good in showing the evidence, like the bank in Japan, that they have the negative interest rate. Or some of you take my note, take the note very well about the things I told you in class, that there are certain cases that is very rare that the interest rate is negative. Okay, so if the interest rate is negative, that means that the value of $100 today will worth less than in the future. Okay, so this is the things. So the core idea is that the value of the money changes according to time. That means in different period of time, the value of the money will change according to the interest rate or the rate of return. Okay? So that's for the first question. Any questions here? No? Okay. For question 2, is it possible to have the negative interest rate? I already quote here that it is possible, although it is very rare. Okay? If you keep up the news, the bank in Japan, they set the negative interest rate. And in certain cases, like in Germany about 3 years ago. Okay? Question 3. Only 4 students remember what I told in the first class. Now, look at this table, and you already see very clearly that. Now, the thing is that I say that, how much do you deposit? How much do you deposit? Huh? 2 billion. Now, when you look in the table and you see that the interest rate for 2 weeks is how much? 0.68. Okay, this 0.68 is quoted in percent. Okay, if you look in the headline, you see that interest received at maturity, and you say then over the quote and say percentage. Okay, so that's the number is always in percentage. Okay. Even that, if you don't know that, you can use some of the argument to know that if it is logic to have about the interest rate 0.68, which if this is not in percent, that would be equal to 68%. Is it reasonable to have the interest rate of 68%? Definitely no. Okay? Okay? When you see the value 0.68, you can relate it to that this is 0.68%. Okay? Now, the second thing is that as I told you in the first class, all the interest rate is quoted in a year, okay? All of the students, most of you, all the students -4, you make a mistake here. So therefore that this 0.68% is the interest rate for 1 year, okay? So therefore that if you want to find out the amount interest rate, you have to multiply this with, okay, this is the interest rate plus for the principal. Okay, for the interest rate it's going to be like 0.68% and then divide by 52 weeks. Okay, and then you can multiply here by 2. Some other formula somehow the same is acceptable. For example, you see about 2 million here. You multiply by 1 plus 0.68%. You divide by 52, and here you power by 2. It is acceptable too. Okay, no problem about that. As long as the key point here, the quote for 1 year, you divide for 52 weeks, you have about the interest rate for 1 period. So 1 period is for one week, for 2 weeks, power by 2. Okay. Now, the core things that I test you here is that you have to know that this thing is quoted in annually. Okay. Once again, this is a quote in annually. Every interest rate, I repeat again, even later when you go into the bank, every single interest rate is always quoted in year. Okay? Here it doesn't mean that for 2 weeks you're going to have the interest rate of 0.68% for 2 weeks. No, that doesn't make sense. Okay? Or somehow you can take 0.68, you multiply by, this is for 2 weeks, so therefore you multiply by 26, okay, 52 divided by 2, okay, for 26, equal to how much? Do you know how I multiply by 26? Because this is for 2 weeks, okay, this is the interest rate. Some of you argue that this is the interest rate for the period of 2 weeks, so therefore that a year has 52 weeks, so 52 divided by 2 is 26, equal to how much? 17.68%. Okay? Now, you're going to compare that. You deposit for 2 weeks and you get this interest rate, 17.68, comparing to about the period of 12 months in which you're going to get about 3.75%. Does it make sense? It doesn't make sense, okay? So therefore that again, later in your life, when you come into the bank or you borrow something, all the thing is quoted in year. Question 4, explain why interest rate decrease, then bond price increase, and vice versa. For question 4, 50% of the class answer right, and the other one, although that I still give you marks because you did notice very well. That means you pay attention to my class, so therefore although the answer is not correctly, so I still give you score. Explain why interest rate decrease when bond price increase. So the mechanic in the market is that if the interest rate decrease, it will make to the bond price increase. The reason why is it? Now, the reason is based on the option of deposit money buying a bond. So when the interest rate decrease, it will be less attractive to investor. So investor will start to switch to buy bond. Okay, and when they switch to buy bond, that means the demand for bond is high, so which makes the price of the bond moves up. Okay, when the interest rate increase, investor will likely to invest the money, okay, instead of buying bonds, so which make that selling, trying to sell the bond, which make the bond price to decrease. Okay, the whole mechanic is based on supply and demand. Some of you give out the formula like coupon divided by 1 plus R, and then E sum here plus or P divided 1 plus R T, and you explain that because this interest rate increase, this is in the denominator, this one is decreased, so therefore which make the price increase. Okay, this one is wrong. Okay, why is wrong? Because this one here is the U. Okay, the value of error here is the internal rate of return. All we can call it is the U. Okay, but I still give you score for this because you note very well for this. Okay, so this way I explain is wrong. The only explanation is simply because that is about the options. Okay, this one pay you a fixed interest rate. This one change. Okay, and if this one decrease, it's no longer attractive, so they switch to the bond. Okay, this is the mechanic. Number 5, what is the difference between preferred share and common share? Well, preferred share you're receiving a fixed dividend every year, and then you have the higher priority in case of default and etc. You can look that in the books, okay? Unlike preferred share, you don't have the right to vote. Okay, common share, you have the right to vote. 6, what happens if consumer price index is 9.5% and deposit interest rate is 4.5%? Okay, consumer price index is going to what is consumer price index? Consumer price index is the inflation. And the inflation is simply that the price of the things will increase. So if the CPI is 9.5%, so this means that the price for one thing that after 1 year will increase to 109.5. Okay? And the point is that the interest rate is only 4.5. So if you deposit $100 today, by the maturity after 1 year you only have 145. Okay? So which means that lower than the increasing of the price. So therefore you cannot buy the things you want. Question number 7. Given a series of cash flows follow and the rate of return is 5.2%, this series of cash flow is equal to how much at year 0? Okay. Now, you have year 0, year 1, year 2, year 3, okay, and so on. And then here is on each of that you have about here you have about minus 500, here you have about 200, here you have minus 300, here you have 150, and so on. For question A, When I ask you the series of cash flow is equal to how much at year 0, that means you have to discount all of these into year 0 and you make a sum, okay, which means equal to at year 0, the value at year 0 will be equal to minus 500 because it is at year 0 plus for 200 divided by 1 plus R, and then you continue minus for 300 divided by 1 plus R power by 2 plus for 150 power divided by 2 and so on. Okay? So the value for this one is approximately about 500,999. Okay? And when in the second question I ask you about what is this series of cash flow equivalent to in year 7. In year 7. Year 7 is 400. So what do you do here? Here you have two ways to do that. The first way is you're going to calculate the value of each of the cash flow at year 7. Or another way would be 500 multiplied by 1 plus R power by 7 plus for 200 multiplied by 1 plus R power by 6 minus for 300 by 5 and so on, okay, until year 7. Is it okay for you? Because here I'm asking you that what is the value of this series of cash flow? Okay, so the entire this cash flow is equivalent to 599 in year 0. So if I ask you about what is the series of cash flow equivalent to value in year 7, you have two ways to do that. The first way you're going to do like this formula. The second way is that you already have the value of this series of cash flow in year 0, which is 9599. Okay, and then so you're gonna multiply this with. Is it okay for you? Because the entire this cash flow, when I discount them back, they are equivalent to 599 here. Okay? It's just like that. Each of you has a unique GPA. Okay? And then I'm grouping all of you into one student with the average GPA. Okay? See the point here? Another thing is that this is the series of cash flow. And then this series of cash flow is equivalent to 599 at year 0. How many of you don't understand this? Raise your hand. And then because this series of cash flow is equivalent to 599 year 0, you have two ways to do that. The first way, you keep doing the same like this. On the second way, you can use this one and then you calculate the future value of this one of year 7. Okay, this is the way to do it. For year number 4, you can do the same, in which you can discount to the value in year number 4. That is, here you're gonna calculate forward, and this you're gonna discount backward. Or you can take this value in year 0, 599, and you multiply by 1 plus 599 multiplied by 1 plus R power by 4. Okay? If you understand this one, you have no worry about the midterm exams. If you don't understand about this, I worry about your score. So once again, who don't understand? Okay, one student, I want to explain again. Now, you already know about the value of the money that change according to time. Okay? So therefore that, assume that I have a cash flow in 3 years. Here I have say like minus 200. Here say like I have 150. And here say like I have 100. The interest rate is 10%. Okay. Now, okay, I will not give a minus here to make it complicated. Just imagine I have about this series of cash flow. No writing. No writing. Assuming that I have a series of cash flow year 0, 200. Year 1, 150. Year 2 is 100. And so what is the point is that here, you all know that this series of cash flow, now if I discount 150 into year 1, so that is, what does this mean? This value is equivalent to how much? Yeah. 150 divided by how much? Calculate. The interest rate is 10%. 142. The third one. 95. Okay. So that's good. Did you calculate wrong? Just say a word, if you calculate wrong, I will minus it or immediately.
No. 136.
This one.
82, 83.
Now, what does this mean? This means that the value of 150 in year 1 is equivalent to 136 in year 0. The value of 100 in year 2 equivalent to value of 82 in year 0. So therefore that I have two options here. The first option is that I'm going to receiving this series of cash flow in the following year. That means that I'm going to receive 200 in today, 150 in year 1, and 100 in year 2. Or I can choose to receive an equivalent amount of this one in year 0. Okay? This is the meaning of the time value money. Okay? So back to your question about this question. So you have this series of cash flow. So in my question, I asked that, what does this series of cash flow equivalent to in year 0? Okay, so simply you discount it too. You plus number. Okay. Doing this one is equivalent to net present value. Okay, and if you go to year 7, there is future value and so on. Now, can you sum up this for me? How much is this? 480. 180. Now, if I want to find out this series of cash flow equivalent to how much in year 2, so what should I do? We're gonna calculate forward, okay? So that means that this 150 is equivalent to 150 multiplied by 1 plus 10%, equal to how much? It's too long. This is gonna be 242. Okay? So when you summing this up, this is equivalent to 507. Okay? This is the value of this series of cash flow in year 2. Okay? And now, if you're gonna take 418 and then you're gonna multiply by 1 plus 10% powered by 2, that's gonna be equal to 506 or nearly 507. Okay? The difference, why is the difference? Because here I make the round. Okay, I can't really see it on here. So therefore you can see those things, they are related to each other. Okay? Question 8 about risk premium. Okay, so here is just about terminology. Premium is something higher than. Discount is something lower than. Okay. Now I begin with very simple things. If I say that a bond is selling at premium, what does this mean? This means that this bond is selling above the par value. If the par value is 1,000, so they are selling above 1,000. Now, if a bond is selling at discount, so that means that they are selling at the price below. So that means they are selling below 1,000. Okay. Now here, what is the premium risk investor require for extra credit risk from A plus to AA minus? Here, when you look at the table, when you look at the table, let's say that we have about ranking here is AA minus, I have A plus, and I have A. Now the yield to maturity, here's the thing, is about the rate of return the investor requires. Okay? So here you can see that the yield to maturity for the first one is 1.68139. For the second one is 1.90139. For the third one is 2.04139, and for the last one is 2.2614. This is in percentage, okay, yield to maturity. Now, the first one is from which one? A plus, from here to here. Okay? As I told you, this one has the lowest risk. Okay? I think I know it very well here. or is it ranking, risk ranking smaller value be better financial health? Okay, so here they have the less risk than, okay, double A minus has less risk than A plus. Okay, so here they would require more return. Okay, so the return is 2%. Here is only 1.9. So you're gonna take this and you minus for this. So you got the value of premium for extra risk. Okay, premium risk. Okay. Low risk. Low return. High risk, high return. Is it okay? Now, put in here, the risk low is which one? A plus. The risk high is which one? No, sorry, I made it wrong. Is double A minus. The high risk is A plus. The return for high risk is 2.4. The return for low risk is 1.90. You take this one and you minus for this one. Okay, that means that the extra return that investor require for the extra risk that they have to take, okay, which is called risk premium. Okay, is it okay? So I do that for the same things in question B. What is the premium return investor require for extra credit risk from A to double A? Okay, from A to double A, so therefore that the low risk is AA and the high risk is A. The return for the low risk is how much? 1.68. The return required for the high risk is 2.26. Okay? High risk, high return. Low risk, low return. Okay? Low risk only 1.68. High risk they require to 2.26. Okay? Take this minus this, you got the risk premium for extra risk. Okay? Extra premium for extra risk.
Đúng rồi, từ từ nha.
For question 1,
Cái đó
what is our coupon? Coupon is equal to how much? 24.5. Okay. Coupon is equal to 24.5 dollar per year. Is it okay for you? Hello? Is it okay for you to know that the coupon is 24.5? Okay? Because here I say that the coupon rate is 2.45%, and I explain that per bond par value. Okay? Bond par value is 1,000. So you just take 2.45%, multiply by 1,000, and then you got about $24.5. Okay? Coupon is also always quoted in year. So this is the amount of coupon that you receive in 1 year. Okay? And the coupon payment, the payment is annually or semi-annually? Semi-annual. Okay. The par value is 1,000. Now, today is, where's the date for today? Today is April 15, April 2016. Okay. So here I say that the payment date is on January and July. Okay. So you're going to say 04/16. So the next thing they're going to pay in 07/16. Okay, July 2016. This is the coupon. The next coupon we will receive in January 17. Okay, and the next coupon we're going to be receiving July 17. Okay, and then here you're going to have about 0.118, and then here is about 0.718 until which 01/19/07/2019. Is it okay for you? Here I told very clearly about the payment date. Payment date, as you can see, the first payment date is on January. The second payment date is on July. Okay? So the date today is April 2016. So the next coupon payment date will be on July 2016. And the next one will be on January 2017. And so on. Okay? So the first thing is that how many semi-annual period do we have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. This is 7 what? Semi-annual period. Okay? 7 half of a year. Half of a year. Okay? Half of a year. Now the point here is that, is this one considered to be the first period? Not yet. Because here, from April to July, how many months there is? Only 3 months. That is, we only count for a quarter of a year. Okay? So therefore it should be so it should be that the considered date in the past should be 1st of January 2016. Okay. Now, the thing is, we're going to have the coupon here is going to be divided by 2. Why? Because the coupon, this is the amount of money you receive in a year. Okay, in 1 year you're going to receive $24.5. So you divide by half, that means each time in a year you're going to receive by 12.25. Okay? And then here is equal to 12.25. And you already know about, so this is the price of the bond here is how much? The price of the bond is 995.6. This is the price in April. Okay. In order to make all our calculation valid, we have to discount them back into January. Okay. About the bond lecturer, I already told you about this, right? Yes, right? Why we have discount to the bank? Because actually from today until the next coupon day is only 0.5 of the period. Okay, which is only 3 months. From here to here is 6 months. So the period here actually 1.5. Okay? And then actually you can use the formula, but you are unable to find out the formula for the U. Okay, the formula for the U is for period only, for every single period only. So therefore you have to discount back to here to make this equal. Now, the price today is 995.6, discount by 1 plus. Now, let's say that the U for a year is equal to Y. And the U for a period, U for half year, is equal to Y bar. Okay? Y bar equals to Y divided by 2. So here I'm going to plus for Y. Okay? From here I discount back to here, it is only 1.2 of the period. The price is going to be equal to total summa. From here you're going to have the C is going to be 12.25 divided by 1 plus Y here, powered by X. X of U begin from 1 to 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Discount back to year 0. Okay? When you discount back to year 0, then you're going to plus for 1,000 at maturity divided by power by 7. This one is equivalent to I'll write down again, it's going to take my time. Equivalent to 12.25 multiplied by 1 plus or minus. What is the formula? Minus 1 divided by 1 plus Y here, power by 7. Divide by Y bar plus or 1,000 divided by. Okay, and then you press solve. The calculator will give you the result of Y bar is equal to 0.0206, which make the U is equal to 0.042, or it is that 4.12%. Is this problem is too difficult? You discount them back into here. Too confusing? If this problem is too difficult for you, it is alright. If you don't understand the way to solve it, it is alright, as long as you can solve the problem. Do you remember about my assignment I give you? Not my assignment, but the part optional. In the optional part, there is a several question about the bond, okay, in which they make it much more simple than this, okay, in which they give you a full period, very simple. If you can solve the problem, you can do it fine in the midterm exam. This one is a mixture that I try to give you about a bond problem plus time value money. Is it okay? Do you want me to explain this again? The U is always required for 1 year. But here I change to make the formula similar to U by changing to the U for 1 period by divide by 2. Okay? For half the year. So you can consider each of it is a single period for you. Okay, so as I see that many of you still do not understand this one, you can skip that and go directly into about the assignment I give you on the blackboard. Okay, on the optional part, there's a question about bond. If you can solve the problem, this is okay. If you cannot solve them, it's not a problem. So this problem, if you find it difficult, it's okay for you.
The U for 1 minute. So when you discount straight to the limit, you also divide it to the
Now what?
discount the today evening the 1990. Yeah. So the U is Y gram divided to
It's nearly equivalent. It's nearly equivalent. Later in the break, we will discuss the difference. Okay? Do you need a break? Or we go on? Break or not? 15-minute break. Okay, because we have about another 3 problems to solve. Company ABC, they have the same credit risk. Okay. In the question B, the company ABC, they have the same credit risk with the company in the question A. Okay, these are identical. So therefore, that the investor will require the same yield. Okay, you have the yield, you put into the equation. You have coupon plus for this. Okay. You input into this, then you get the bond price. Difficult. Just discount them. Right? When you discount, for example, here you have about the bond price, say like 997.6. So what does this mean? This means that for 100 par value of the bond you issue, you get 997.6. So therefore, when you issue for 300 million, you're gonna have about, multiply this, divide by this. Wow, a superior formula you learned in elementary school. When you come to me, everything is back to basics. Okay? I even get things you learn in elementary school come here. Is it okay for you? Nhưng chéo chia ngang. Do I need to give you a review about elementary school? Oh my God. Where is my eraser? Now, what is the cost of the house? 180,000. And when the house costs you 180,000, the question is that they will ask you to do what? Make a down payment. The down payment is, what is the down payment? Huh? Sorry? Yes? Sorry? What's wrong? Okay, so the down payment is 3,000. Down payment. That means that this is the amount of money you have to pay. And the rest is the amount of money that the bank will give you. Okay, we're funding for you to buy the house. Okay, that means that this is the amount of money you have to have, and this is the amount of money that the bank will sponsor for you. Okay. Now, year 0 today is on January 2016, and the first payment is on January 17, second payment January 18, so 1, 2, 3, so on, and here gonna be like 20 years. That's gonna be equal to, how much is that? January 36. Okay, after 20 years. You are here today. Your first payment will begin in 1 year. Okay? Your first payment will begin in 1 year. So now, the first payment will be money. It's not about money. Okay? Every single year you make a payment. Now, how much money do you need to pay every year, assume the interest is compound annually? So, what does this mean? Your first payment is here, and then after all those years has to be equal to, let's go to here. Okay? So what does this mean? This means that your payment in year 1 will be M, and then in year 20 it will grow into M multiplied by 1 plus R power by 19. Is it okay? Here, compound into 20. In year 2nd, you also make a deposit of an M money, and then this money will grow into 18 years. Okay? And so in general, in year 20, you make a final, and this one is equal to 1 plus R power by 0. Is okay. When you summing off these, and then you have the result is that M multiplied by 1 plus R power by 19 plus 1 plus R power by 18 plus blah 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 plus 1 plus R power by 0. So the formula will be M multiplied by 1 plus R power by X. X begin from 0 to 19. This total things, when you calculate their value in the future, they must be equal to how much? 150,000. So then here you're going to get the result about $1,400 a year. That means every month you're going to need to save about 120. Okay. Oops, my mistake. mistake and no one realized. It should be a discount. Okay, sorry I make a mistake. It should be a discount because here's the total amount of money you owe to the bank. You have to calculate backward. But here, how do I fix this? How do I fix this? Okay, I'm going to bring this 150 into future. Then it's going to be this multiplied by 1 plus r power by 20. Problem solved. Okay. How many of you understand this? And how many of you don't understand this? Okay. You are over 18, so I respect you, okay? So if you don't raise your hand, you don't request for another explanation, I will go through that. This is how much now? It's not about 1,014, it's about 14,000. Right? Yeah. 41158. Sorry for mistake. Question 3. Question 2 is cost you 10 points. Now for question number 3, you just need to understand the question 3A. Question 3B, if you understand, it's good. If you don't understand, it's okay. How many of the payment do you have to make? Hello. Hello boys and girls, how many payments do you have to make? 3 payments, okay? The interest rate is 11%, okay? So that means how much money do you need by this time? 300,000, okay? 300,000, and then your first payment will be given here, year 1, year 2, year 3, blah blah blah. So what does this mean? This means that you put the end money here. After 3 years, you go up into some value here. So the point is that your first payment in year 1, in year 2, year 1 you make an F. This M will drop into multiply by 1 plus R power by 29 is 28, okay, and so on. You multiply by, and then the result here you have is, you have about 300,000 must be equal to M multiplied by sum of 1 plus R power by X. X begin from 0 to 29. And then you solve for this and you get the value of M is equal to right? Some students write down x begin from 1 to 30, and I have no idea why they still get the same result. That's the signal. Okay? Okay, for our question A, is it okay? Do you understand this one? Is it okay?
Yes.
Or you too, no? Is it okay for the rest of the class? Now, for your second question B, if you take time to write down, it's going to be simple. Assuming that your first payment will be N, say like 100. Then in the second year, how much will you deposit? Your growth rate will be 10%. Okay? So that's the year will go up to 110. In the third year will, okay, that means that in year 1 you will deposit 100. In year 2 you will deposit 110. Okay, it doesn't mean that this 100 go up into 110. No. Okay, this is first year you deposit 100, second year 110, and this year is 121. So the formula is this. Now for the first year, in year 1, you will deposit M money. And this M money will grow into M multiplied by 1 plus R power by how much? 29. Is it okay? M here. In the second year, the amount of money you deposit will be M. This is the new money. This money will grow up into M, G, okay? In the third year, it's going to be M 1 plus G power by 2, and it's going to be M 1 plus G power by 2 multiplied by 1 plus R power by 27. And here you can see that when this one decreased by 1, this one increased by 1. I can rewrite this as equal to M 1 plus G power by 0, 1 plus R power by 20. Okay? And you see that the power of the 2 is always equal to 29. So here when I summing up, that's mean in year 30, I'm going to have M 1 plus G power by 29, and here's I'm going to have about M 1 plus G power by 29 plus 1 plus R power by 0. Okay? So the total here is that the formula is going to be M multiplied by sum of 1 plus G power by X. Here is going to be 29 minus X. Okay? X will begin from 0 to 29. Okay? So that means that if X begins from 0, so that means that 0 here and then 29 here. Let's start over. And then finally, you're going to calculate this. This is going to be equal to 300,000. And then you find out that what is the required for the first amount of money do you need? That is equal to 551.17. money you need to deposit. Don't understand this, you don't need to write it down, okay? It's too difficult. Stock evaluation. Okay, this is a practical question in which I give you all the information in real life. The hell are they playing? Yes. It was just the guitar with one string, right? Bang, bang. See? Oh, yes, they changed the rhythm now. So here I'm going to fix for the general idea here, okay? So what does this mean? You have about the growth rate. Now, Coca-Cola. So I have 2009, 2010, 2011. The first is the dividend. The dividend here is going to 0.28, then going to pay 0.88, and then 0.94. So the growth rate here is equal to 0.88 minus 0.82 divided by 0.82. Okay? And you have the result of about 7.32%. For the growth rate in 2011, that's going to be equal to 0.94 minus 0.88 divided by 0.88. And then you get a value of minus 1. You got for about 6.82. Okay, this is about the calculated growth rate. Growth rate compared to the previous year. Okay, now we have the thing is that in this period of time, I have 2012, 2013, 2014, 2015. So here is the growth rate of them. That is going to be 8.51%. I have about 9.80%, 8.93%, and here now we have about 8.20%. So this is the growth rate. And the point is that if you look at the growth rate, you're going to see that they grow kind of stable. Don't fluctuate very long, and they pay the dividend annually. Okay? So therefore, that the thing is that you can take the average of all the growth rates to estimate for about the average here is that the average here is equal to 8.6%. Okay? And you can use that. You can use this information for your future estimation that perhaps the dividend will grow at the rate of 8.26. Okay? Now, you have about the rate of return. Rate of return is for equity, is the thing that you will learn in the later of this class. Okay, in the later half semester, you will learn about calculating for the rate of the return for the equity, for the stock. Okay? And here I just give you about, for example, the rate of return is how much? For 7.44%. Okay? And then how to estimate for the stock price? That is going to be, the price is going to be equal to dividend divided by R minus by G. Okay? And here is in 2015, so you're going to be plus G. Don't understand this, it's okay for you. Okay, just remember this formula. They'll give you information about how to apply that. No, don't worry. This is just a practical question for you. You don't understand this one, it's okay. Just forgot it. Among the four companies, only the second one, that their stock price truly follow this formula. The other three doesn't follow at all. It's okay? No? Why not? Which one? I mean that when you price things for the stock price, this formula is bullshit. Okay? This formula is bullshit. In real life, no one gonna use this formula. Not a single chance. In real life, when you want to estimate for the price of the stock, you have to dig through the financial statement to know about the price of the stock and make a forecast. This is just some formula. Okay? And why I give you this problem based on real information? Because to let you know that all the four companies that pay the dividend grow annually, only one that the stock price follow this formula. The other three, they don't follow it. Okay? Just about a practical question for you to know about this formula. Okay? Because they're the things I mean us, the lecturer, are asked to teach. So we teach you. But my recommendation, just know it to do the midterm and then the rest, forget about it. Financial statement. Okay, done. Any questions so far? The format of the midterm test is 20 multiple choice and 3 long questions. You are allowed to bring 1 A4 paper each sheet. Comment thôi. Comment thì nhìn vào từ đó comment em nhìn vô dưới mỗi công ty thì cái giá nó đúng chứ không đúng, kia nó không đúng.